All right, what's good? What's good? Let's chop it up about this boxing. Hope everything's going well with everybody today. And yes, this will be another day that I dedicate to talking bad about Dillian White. It just has to happen, dog. It has to happen. There's some interesting boxing news out there, but none of it is more fun than digging at Dillian White, man. I did another video today. It'll be up later today. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's go! Jay Lex said, let's go! Deontay Wilder! Let's go, Wilder! Let's go, Wilder! Yigga. No more fight, dog. No more fight. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. We're going to wait till the people roll into the chat. Hope everything's well. I talked so bad about Dillian White yesterday that I got a video demonetized. Couldn't believe it. I never get videos demonetized because I fucking follow the rules to the letter. But I think I might have slipped up and called him something really foul out of his name, dog. And it wound up costing me dough, man. However, I will have he said he didn't get a chance to howl this time. Shut up. Get out of here. But today, I have to tell you, man, there's somebody else who deserves Dave Caldwell. We got to wait till we get 100 people in here, though, man. We got to wait till we get 100 people in here. So I got to wait for a little while, man. What it do, Southern T? Jazz 804. JC, Fastlane Jones, Burt from Mardikin. My man, King Diesel in the building. I don't know if you're still in the building, King Diesel, but what's good, man? He said, have a great show today. Salute for 9. Yeah, man. See, I know when cats show up at 225 like Kane Bad Guys telling me, hey, man, have a good show because I can't watch it. But that's all right. It's because my show got moved up by just kept moving up and moving up. Sorry about that, man. I can't see you, man. Hate that I can't see you on a more regular basis, dog. Yeah, Dillian got knocked. Yeah, that's what I said. Dillian got knocked the fuck out. That's what got me demonetized. Because I said Dillian White got knocked the fuck out. And they didn't like it, dog. They didn't like it, man. I'm still shocked that I got a video demonetized. Because I said Dillian White got knocked the fuck out. But seeing as it was a manual review, I know that some of y'all are out there, dog, Dillian White fans fucking with people. But it was worth it, dog. I'll donate it to it. I'll donate. Now, though, the lichen has fallen. Dog, the lichen never even rose. The lichen just died. Lichen just died. It's like the lichen just died, dog. Just out and out died, man. So, but people are getting upset with Dillian White. Oh, we almost at 100. We still got to wait till 100 because I know more than likely, yeah, Trill is still on. So, yeah, I got to – no. Trill's not off. They rolled off. So, all right, we can get it going. Dillian is ashy as fuck. Let me go to the main page, man. We can start going in on them now, man. We got 100 people, man. But can we get the likes up? I know we got 100 people in the building. I am positive that we don't have 100 likes, man. And it would be great if we could get 100 likes. We got 122 people in the building. And we got 91 likes. Let's get the likes up, man. Let's get the likes up. Wait a little bit longer, and then I will. What's going on, Ricky Samuel? Talk about a guy named Dave Caldwell. Is anybody familiar with Dave Caldwell? Know who Dave Caldwell is? Man, let's get the likes up, man. Come on, man. We got 105 likes now. Come on, we got 127 people in the building, 105 likes, man. I did like the 600 likes that we got yesterday. I was encouraged. I was like, yeah. Like Dillian White says, let's go. Fuck out of here, Dillian White. Much love in that super chat. Dilly got knocked the fuck out. Salute for 9. Yes, sir. Much love in that super chat. Hey, hold on one second. I got to do something real quick. Give me 1 second, because I refuse. I refuse not to give y'all much love in that super chat. I am out, Will. Hey, the Shadow Assassin said he disrespected the movie Underworld with that name. The Lycans didn't go out like that. Hell no, Lycans had way more fight. But Dave Caldwell, did anybody tell me that they know who Dave Caldwell is yet? I don't see anybody telling me if they know who Dave Caldwell is. He seems like a nice enough guy. So I'm not about to tear into him like personally. But dog, they crying. They trying to cry a river for Dillian White over there. That's why I put in the title that Dillian White getting ethered by Deontay Wilder fans, because he is. And rightfully so, dog. So you never heard of Dave Caldwell. Okay, Dave Caldwell is, because I didn't want to go into the explanation if you guys have heard me. But seeing as, he's a trainer out of the UK who he looked like a little black dude, little bald-headed black dude. He looked like a little bald-headed black dude, but I think he might be Indian. He's born in Calcutta, so I don't know what he is. However, dog, he was talking about how Dillian White, listen to this line they use. Much love in that super chat, William Ward. What's going on? What's with the 2 L's? What's with the extra L in William? That's pretty dope. Anyway, X Bass said, "Is Caldwell the WBC franchise champion?" No. Dave Caldwell is a trainer out of the UK. Give me 1 second. I got to do something. But I'll keep talking. So Dave Caldwell is he is a trainer. He's a trainer for that works with a lot of the MTK Global guys. You'll see him in the corner, like he's always around always around Tyson Fury. Not always around Tyson Fury, but he's around Dillian White a lot. He's kind of a member of that crew of people. Like, he commentates on Sky Sports. Oh, pull his picture up? Yeah, sure. I know you guys have seen him before. I'll pull it up. All right, so can I pull this picture up? All right, here you go. We'll show you who he is before I get into it too much. Here it is. Boxing news. How David Caldwell turned Derek Chisora into an Anthony Joshua contender, right? That's Dave Caldwell. You see him, like, he's always around, like, talking about a lot of, he's a Sky Sports commentator, all of that type of guy. I mean, he's well known in boxing in the UK. Oh, he said, oh, the midget. Yeah, him, that guy. So what he said was, no, he didn't maybe he did. He said after the lockdown, oh, he does. He's talking like this now. Bumpy. You talking about how Dillian White talks? Dillian said after the knockout, his mouth looks more stroked out, no bullshit. It does. It's just glued like this. He was holding this whole conversation like this, with this lip. It's like this shit right here don't work on Dillian White. She's like, I don't know, brother. I don't know, bro. Like that shit. This shit's all fucked up. All fucked up. But I got to get on what Dave Caldwell said, dog, because this is the perfect thing for me to give a speech about. It was referred to as a rant not too long ago. However, so this is what Dave Caldwell says. Dave Caldwell said that it's funny how boxing fans that are always saying that the best should fight the best when a fighter fights the best and loses, they then turn on that fighter and call him a bum and talk about him bad and tear him down. So how could you? So, and he's referring to the Dillian White thing, right? Saying Dillian White has fought, and I'm going to try my best to make the argument in his, where it would be a credible argument, not a credible argument, because I think the argument's bullshit. But I want to say it in a way where I'm paying respect to his argument, but not ridicule. He's saying, look, we as all you boxing fans say that you want the best to fight the best, but when the best fights the best, you turn around and you attack the fighter and tear them down because they lost or got knocked out. You laugh about it, right? Then he said, because none of you guys would have the nerve, many of you guys sitting in the safety of your, and I'm hoping Dave Caldwell hears this, sitting behind the safety of your computer, behind your phone, and would never have the nerve to go fight somebody like Alexander Povetkin. And he said, never mind. You guys wouldn't even have the nerve to stand up or be too scared to fight the flyweight world champion. That's what he said. Right? I think that is a fair representation of what he said. Point one, you guys want people to fight the best. Point two, every time somebody fights the best, you get on and they lose, you get at them and tear them up for fighting the best. And none of you guys would have had enough nerve to fight Alexander Povetkin. Or you guys wouldn't have had enough nerve and courage to fight a flyweight world champion, let alone Alexander Povetkin. That's what he said. Now, let me tell you this right here. You're full of shit, Dave Caldwell. Full of shit. First of all, I'm not a fucking fighter. I'm not a fighter. It ain't my job to fight people. So what the fuck does it matter whether or not I would fight or somebody else would fight Povetkin? That's a fucking corny ass. Fuck the corny jokes, dog. I'm not going to fight Alexander Povetkin. I'm not a fighter. By your standard, nobody who is not getting in the ring and fighting has the right or should be, or is it reasonable for them to talk shit about any other boxers because they're not a boxer? Sorry, dog, I pay my money. So I get to say what the fuck I want to say. And this is what I say. Dillian White didn't fight the best in Alexander Povetkin. He fought a 41-year-old Alexander Povetkin. Just like he said, my man said back there, Povetkin ain't the best. Povetkin is not the best. He's not the best. But Dillian White, the reason why Dillian White is getting done so bad is because Dillian White did everything he could do to tear down Deontay Wilder while Deontay Wilder was winning. Let me repeat this. Dillian White, Johnny Nelson, Tony Bellew, and many of the people in the UK tore at Deontay Wilder savagely when he won. When he won. What did you guys say after the Luis Ortiz fight won? He's a 40-year-old man. He's an old man. Deontay Wilder's ducking Dillian White. Did you discredit Deontay Wilder's win over Luis Ortiz? And he won. You guys, didn't you shit on his win over Arthur Spilka? Because Arthur Spilka wasn't in the top 10. Even though Arthur Spilka was in the top 10, it never stopped you from crapping on Deontay Wilder's win over Arthur Spilka. Dave Caldwell, you guys shitted on his win over Bermane Stavern. And you shitted over his win. You shit on his win against Gerald Washington. You shit on every win he ever had. And you're surprised that people are going to shit on Dillian White for getting knocked the fuck out? I mean, you guys, of all you people talk, Dave, all y'all talking shit about Luis Ortiz. Would any of y'all fight Luis Ortiz? Shit, Dillian White wouldn't fight Luis Ortiz and talk shit about Luis Ortiz. Wouldn't even fight him and still talk shit. So, what are you fuckers upset about? What are y'all mad about? You guys dogged out Deontay Wilder for the last 3 years relentlessly. And he was winning. Your bum, Dillian White, loses, not even in the championship fights, loses to a 41-year-old by getting knocked the fuck out. Like, and we are in the wrong for doing exactly what you guys did to Deontay Wilder when Deontay Wilder won, but we can't do it when Dillian White loses? Man, cry me a river, dog. Cry me a river. Dillian White got shit on by everybody because he deserved it. The WBC, I have not said a good word about the WBC in what seems like 3 months. But I got something nice to say about him now. They told Dillian White to shove off. There ain't no time frame for a mandatory. There ain't no rematch for a mandatory. What you talking about? Get out of here, Dillian. Talked all that shit. Get out. Thought you were going to sue us. I could hear Mauricio Suleiman talking shit about Dillian White. Hey, man, I thought you were going to sue us. What happened to the lawsuit? What happened to the lawsuit? Now you want us to do what? You want us to give you a rematch for the mandatory? Motherfucker, you lost. And you proved to us that you ain't somebody that's going to work with us really well because you threatened to sue us over a rematch clause in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Man, kick rocks, dog. Kick rocks, Dillian. And all them UK dudes, you guys need to kick rocks too. Dude, nobody would be that hard on Dillian White if you weren't that hard on Deontay Wilder, man. American fight fans have not been nearly as hard on UK fighters as UK fans are on American fighters. Y'all talk so much shit, dog. About guys, that's shit hilarious, dude. You guys need to stop talking so much shit because your fighters aren't that good and you're going to lose. But everybody knows that everybody's going to lose. Like, there is no fighter out there in the world that is completely, who's insusceptible to losing. Vasily Lomachenko lost in his second fight. Whole bunch of people lost. Tyson Fury should have lost. Should have lost against Otto Wallin when he got his eye gashed open. Really? Because last time I checked, the eye gash that big, they stopped fights for that, dog. Dillian White. Did you see how Dillian White bounced? That's the same knockout Tyson Fury got. That knockout against Alexander Povetkin is no different than Deontay Wilder knocking down Tyson Fury. None. Stop it. Just like that other fight when Ryan Garcia knocked out that dude and he laid out like that. What do? They stopped the fight. Tyson Fury's the only person that gets to lay out on his back like this with his head like this and be allowed to continue to fight. But you talk shit about Deontay Wilder doing that to him. No, man, you guys are just fuck y'all. I mean, just that's the only way I can say it. I've been listening to y'all for 2 years tear at Deontay Wilder. And now that your boy fell on his face, you want some type of sympathy for him? You kidding me? You guys put out so many news articles about Deontay Wilder, dude, week after week after week after week after week after week after week. You guys ran Deontay Wilder down for the loss against Tyson Fury, and when he wouldn't say something, you guys just made some shit up and ran around asking a bunch of people what they thought about it. Deontay Wilder never, according to Deontay Wilder and Deontay Wilder's team, and there's never been any audio out there to contradict it, that Deontay Wilder never blamed that loss to Tyson Fury on his suit. But you motherfuckers tried your best to humiliate him for weeks and weeks and weeks with something you have never heard him say, ever. None of y'all heard him say that. Never. As many articles, and watch this, as many interviews as there are, most of the things, if not all of the things that people say, you can go find another interview and hear him say it. If Deontay Wilder says something on Blood Box on 78's channel, you can go to Blue Bloods. If he gets an interview, he's going to say the same thing there. Many of the things that Deontay Wilder said that you hear are said on 78 Sports TV's channel first. But then he says the exact same thing to multiple other outlets. No one has ever heard him say that shit. Not once, not twice. And you ran this dude. You ran his name into the mud. This dude got 40 knockouts and you motherfuckers ran his name into the mud. And you think somebody's going to lighten up on Dillian White? Fuck no. You hype job Dillian White on the back of Deontay Wilder. That's the only reason anybody cared. It's because of all about Dillian White. It's because of all the shit talk y'all did about Deontay Wilder. Using him and his name to do it. So you want somebody to lighten up on Dillian White? Fuck Dillian White. Straight up. Stop treating American fighters like shit. You ducked Deontay Wilder. Ducked it. Anthony Joshua ducked Deontay Wilder. Dillian White ducked Deontay Wilder. And you guys still won't say anything about it. Dillian White turned down a fight with Luis Ortiz. He turned down a fight with Dominic Brazil. He turned down a fight with Kubrat Pulev. This motherfucker this dude literally, Dillian White, is the most privileged fighter to be a fucking bum that I have seen. He is super privileged. He doesn't deserve to be the number one guy at the WBC to begin with because he passed up 2 opportunities, 2 fights that were ordered by the WBC. He tells the WBC, no, I'm not going to take that fight with Dominic Brazil. No, I'm not going to take that fight with Luis Ortiz. You have to give me the Deontay Wilder fight like I want it. Said the same thing to the IBF. I'm not going to fight Pulev. I'm not going to fight Pulev. Dude, the dude tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs and was allowed to fight. And then his suspension, and then he wasn't suspended and never gave up a B sample. Like, for real. How did you guys even think you can defend this dude? This is one of the most spoiled brat fucking fighters I have ever seen. This dude has never had a fucking belt. He's not a very good fighter. And it shouldn't be surprising at all that Alexander Povetkin knocked him out. But don't think people don't get to laugh after all the shit y'all did. Do y'all remember when they would not let Deontay Wilder into the ring against Anthony Joshua after the Joseph Parker fight? You remember that? And then Deontay Wilder decided he was not going to go to the UK and cover the fight. And why? Why didn't he go to the UK to cover the Anthony Joshua fight from the sideline? Because Dillian White was going to jump in his face and they were going to try to make a big to-do about Dillian White and Deontay Wilder. But Anthony Joshua wouldn't let him in the ring. And you guys murdered Deontay Wilder in the press about that for days because he wouldn't call a fight. So I'm confused here. You can attack Deontay Wilder for not calling a boxing match because he can't get in the ring and the guy there won't guarantee him that he'll fight him. But we can't say anything about Dillian White getting knocked the fuck out because we're not brave enough to be boxers. Man, get out of here, man. Dillian ain't brave enough to be a boxer. Or Dillian's too brave for his own fucking good. Garbage ass Dillian White. Very happy he lost. Whew. Love it. I'm getting all mine. He said White found a cure for insomnia. You know he did. I said, I think Spilka was number 9 or number. Dude, look, man, they were all in the top 10, dude. And any of these guys know it. They all know it. They're just liars. Okay? Any one of these boxers that said Deontay Wilder never fought a top guy is a liar. Tony Bellew is a liar. Because Tony Bellew knows the rules of boxing. He knows the rules of boxing. He knows that BoxRec is not the rankings. He knows that ESPN's ranking systems aren't the rankings. He knows this. But yet he says Deontay Wilder's been fighting cab drivers. Tyson, who's the cab driver? Tony? You gonna beat Tony Bellew? You gonna fight Gerald Washington? You gonna fight Gerald Washington? Tony Bellew? He's a cab driver, right? Since he's a cab driver, it shouldn't matter. You fought at cruiserweight. Go up there and beat that cab driver. Chris Areola's a cab driver, right? Go beat that. Do like Dave Caldwell said, and go beat Chris Areola. Tony Bellew. Go beat him. Fuck out of here, dude. Dillian White ain't 2 cents better than fucking Chris Areola. He ain't no better than a prime Chris Areola. Okay? Not a lick better than a prime Chris Areola. And he gets knocked the fuck out by Andy Ruiz. And knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Thank you very much. Dudes are ridiculous, man. What? Bomac? Bomac. I think Bomac's a good dude, man. Tony Bellew said Wilder hugged him and he was terrified. Yeah. I mean, just get out of here, dude. You guys are so high on your UK boat that when it fell and it sunk, because it sunk. Dillian White's loss did a lot to UK heavyweight boxing, dude. Because you've only got one now. And I got pictures of all of them getting put on their back. All of them. All of them. 2 of them got put on their backs by Americans. Put on their backs by Americans. Jupiter B said, Areola is 2 levels above White. He hung in there with Vitaly. Yeah. I'm just saying he's not any better than Chris Areola. I don't think he's any, let me see. He's not any better than Chris Areola. He's not any better than Adam Kwinacki. I don't think he's not any better than Joseph Parker. He's not any better. What's going on, Mr. Boxing Today? He's not, I mean, he's a good fighter. But he's not what these guys were trying to, were chalking him up to be. But regardless, you talk shit. You live by the shit you talk, die by the shit you talk. Dillian White deserves to be talked about badly. In fact, you wouldn't be doing your job as a boxing fan if you didn't make him know. Dog, when you come back, shut your ass up and fight. Shut up and fight. What's up, dog? Let me see what he said about Deontay Wilder. I just pull up some. I know it's not going to take 2 seconds. Dillian White, Wilder, coward. That should be able to find something really easy. Dillian White says, the biggest coward in boxing today award goes to the Bronze Bomber. Having been #1 for over 2 years, this coward still hasn't found the balls to fight me. To this day. To this day. Let's repeat what he said. The biggest coward in boxing award today. The biggest coward in boxing today award goes to the Bronze Bomber, having been #1 for over 2 years, and this coward still hasn't found the balls to fight me. That guy told you, Dillian White, that if you fought Luis Ortiz, he would fight you on a voluntary. That's what he told Dillian White. Dillian White knows this. But Dillian White just lies. Why does it take courage to fight Dillian White? You know what it takes? Would have taken Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian White? Instead of courage? An empty schedule. An empty schedule. Because Dillian White didn't deserve the fight. Dillian White could have fought. Why ain't Dillian White fighting AJ? Why ain't he fighting AJ? He turned down an AJ fight. He turned down a Kubrat Pula fight. He turned down a Luis Ortiz fight. He turned down a Dominic Brazil fight. He's a phony. He's been a phony. The idea that, and because, and to you boxers that do this, dog, just stop it. We pay the bills, okay? We pay the bills. Every time somebody criticizes you, the excuse that, well, you wouldn't do it, doesn't matter. Who the fuck cares? And whether I would do it or not, I'm not a boxer. If I write a contract and I fuck up and I leave and I forget, right? And I forget to allow my customer an out, right? And I fuck up and you turn around and say, Fannon, you fucked up. You fucked up this deal. Like, we can't get out of it now because you didn't notice this. I can't say, well, you should have wrote the contract. How about you write the contract next time? I mean, you want to talk shit? Let me see you write the contract. They ain't going to say, no, motherfucker, I'm not going to write it. You wrote it. I'm paying you to write it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give the shit to somebody else to write. Because that's not my job. That's your job. Right? So, Dave, yeah, I don't have enough. Am I going to jump in the ring and fight Tyson Fury? No. A flyweight, though, me and this will work with a flyweight. Me and this will work on a flyweight, dog. Believe it. The flyweight going to sleep. Flyweight going to sleep, dog. Okay? But no, man, it's just, come on, man. It's time for, I would hope now that you guys stop being such fucking frauds. Okay? Now, is fraud the wrong way? Somebody help me with this word. Because I'm having a hard time explaining this concept. And here's the concept. The UK has a little bubble of fighters that are all fighting each other and all calling each other the greatest. They cut a group of fighters out of their little party that they refuse to fight. The two fighters or the three fighters that they didn't want anything to do with are named Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, and Tyson Fury. Those three. And the whole time that these guys were talking about all fighting each other, all on matchroom cards, all on in-house fights, we're all fighting each other. Their box rankings rose because they're all a bunch of middle tier fucking heavyweights. Upper tier, excuse me. They're not middle tier, but all three of these motherfuckers can beat all of them. Let's put it this way. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Luis Ortiz can beat any of them. Anthony Joshua, Tyson, every one of them have the ability to beat everyone in that group. But everybody in that group was calling all these guys cab drivers. But they wouldn't fight the cab drivers. You ever notice that? That's called exclusion. They have their own little circle jerk going on. Heavyweight circle jerk, where Povetkin is fighting. Who did Povetkin fight? Povetkin fought Parker. Parker fought Joshua and Whyte. And Chisora fought Takam. And Takam fought Joshua. And all of these guys are fighting each other, right? All these guys are fighting each other and calling themselves, because they're all fighting weird. In Wembley, the O2 Arena, all that stuff. They're the big heavyweight scene in the UK. Making a lot of money off of those fights in the UK. But you wanted to call yourselves the best and act like everybody else that isn't involved in your little circle jerk is a bum. Like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has only fought bums. Why? Because he didn't fight Joseph Parker? Because he didn't fight Derek Chisora? Because he didn't fight Carlos Takam? Deontay Wilder will kill Carlos Takam. Deontay Wilder will kill Derek Chisora. Deontay Wilder will decapitate Joseph Parker. But somehow, they don't count. Somehow they don't count because they're not fighting. Because they're not fighting for Matchroom. And that got exposed when Dillian White got slept. Because Dillian White just got slept by somebody that lost to Michael Hunter. And he lost to a guy, Alexander Povetkin, who Anthony Joshua knocked out. And he lost to a guy that Vladimir Klitschko beat a decade ago, man. He beat him 14 years ago. Parker pulled out of the Wilder fight 3 times because you guys didn't want to fight him because he wasn't with Matchroom. Because he wasn't with Matchroom. Ari Boxing Talk said, hilarious that the UK fans used to say Wilder's ducking AJ. Now that Fury has the belt, they're saying Eddie is protecting AJ. The hypocrisy is crazy. Look, Ari Boxing, see, this is interesting. That's very interesting. And let's dissect it. UK fans used to say Wilder was ducking AJ, but they knew he wasn't. They knew he wasn't. They just lied. They know he's not. They know he's not. Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz twice. Deontay Wilder didn't have to. They say Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, right? Who has fought him? Who fought him? Straight up. If what you guys are saying is that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, who is the only top heavyweight to fight him? Deontay Wilder. So, the guy that you call a bum, his only loss is against a guy that you say is the best heavyweight in boxing. And for a guy that you say is ducking everybody, he's the only guy to fight him. He's the only guy to fight the top heavyweight. Dillian White ain't fought Tyson Fury, ain't never acted like he wanted to fight Tyson Fury. He didn't try to get Tyson Fury out of retirement and give Tyson Fury 2 warm-ups and then fight him and then give Tyson Fury 2 more warm-ups and now he's going to fight him again. None of you guys have gone through the type of fight that Deontay Wilder went with Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, Dominic Breazeale, Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury. None of you guys did that shit. But all you got to do is just act like they're no good. Just say they're not good. And that alleviates the whole problem. Luis Ortiz, how many of y'all fought Luis Ortiz? Alexander Povetkin's ass can get a fight every other fucking week. But you can't find Luis Ortiz's number? Can't find Luis Ortiz's number? He just got knocked out by Deontay Wilder. That should be easy money, right? Except for here's the problem. You guys, according to you, Luis Ortiz won every round in both fights. Except he got stuck by the one-trick pony, Deontay Wilder, right? Well, since Dillian White doesn't have that one trick, why not fight Luis Ortiz? Right? You think Luis Ortiz is going to get any fights out of these guys? Where's the Derek Chisora Luis Ortiz fight? Where's the Joseph Parker Luis Ortiz fight? Where's the Carlos Takam Luis Ortiz fight? Nowhere. Nowhere. In fact, where's the Dillian White Dominic Breazeale fight? Because AJ knocked out Dominic Breazeale. None of the rest of the motherfuckers fought him. They didn't fight Dominic Breazeale. AJ knocked out Dominic Breazeale. But AJ knocked out Dillian White. And AJ knocked out Alexander Povetkin. So why isn't Dillian White in the same, why isn't Dominic Breazeale in the same way, in the same class of heavyweights? Right? Eric Molina only counts for AJ. It doesn't count for Wilder. It only counts for AJ. Right? Even though I'm pretty sure Deontay Wilder knocked out Eric Molina first. But you guys have been so biased against Deontay Wilder And generally speaking, American boxing, dog, that when your boy falls flat on his face, we're going to laugh and point out that he fell flat on his face because he was talking all that shit. And he deserves to be right where he is, flat on his fucking face. Okay. And you guys are going to try to build him up again and say, just like Povetkin. You guys are going to try to build up Povetkin. Well, Povetkin is some extra. Povetkin got his ass knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Shut up with Alexander Povetkin is this or that. He already got sparked out 2 fights ago, 3 fights ago, and he lost to Michael Hunter. That dude was supposed to be a soft touch for Dillian White. That's what he was. He was a soft touch name to put on Dillian White's resume. That's what he was. But he was a cherry pick gone wrong. Now y'all want to blame us because he got caught cherry picking, got knocked out by a cherry. Because he did. He got knocked out by a cherry. Yeah, he did. I am Ill Will said, Dilly go and block me before I stop. See Instagram. Dog, I couldn't believe Dave Caldwell said that. Well, I could actually. Jupiter B said Klitschko told Wilder to get more experience when he called him out. It's in Forbes magazine. Vlad didn't want the WBC after Wilder won it from Stavern. Look, man, that's just another example of them lying. It's just another example of a bunch of dudes that just lie. Man, much love, man. Real 6 teams, 6 productions join the channel. And much love to my man, Jupiter B. Dude, you've been holding the channel down, dog. Thank you very much, man. Much love in that super chat. Bert from Madigan said, Brazil will beat the fuck out of White. I mean, look, man, Mr. Boxing Today is a better, obviously a much better expert on the heavyweight division than me. So I don't want to act like, I mean, Dillian White ain't complete garbage. But dog, he's hyped up, man. You guys just tried to market him to death, man. He came to the United States. Do you remember who the last guy he fought in the United States was? And this is when I was like, man, this dude's a fraud. Get out of here, man. When he fought Malcolm Tan in the United States, I was like, this dude's a fraud. He a fraud. Kind of like Chaz Witherspoon and Alexander Usyk. Dude, Alexander Usyk ain't even been nowhere near around a ring since he fought Chaz Witherspoon. He's like, hold on. I got to reevaluate this. This wasn't as easy as it was supposed to be. He's supposed to blow out Chaz Witherspoon. White is a trash can juice. Hey, well, we got another day or two of dogging him out. Hey, man, look, we got 500 people in the building. We got 241 likes. Can we get the likes up, please? Get the likes up, please. Thank you very much. Or the dislikes. I don't care if you're from the UK. I only got 13 dislikes. I know some of y'all don't like what I got to say because I'm trying hard. Seen and Unseen Boxing said, we love the work. Next level cooking, my brother. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, Unseen and Unseen Boxing. Much love in that super chat. Welcome to the heavyweights. Hey, dog, welcome to the land of not being that damn good. Now, some people say, you got that right. You got 2 weeks left to talking bad about you, dog. You got a lot of time talking bad about you because it's a minute before the next fight. But people should know because you guys spend so much time tearing. I don't know if you can tell, dude, but I spending all that time reading your articles, man. Reading UK articles. You guys such hypocrites, man. Such hypocrites. We're not on code because we're not supporting the black man. Ain't that what they said? That's funny. They whipped that out right after AJ left. But he's a black man. Why are you talking so bad about him? I'm just a slave. He's a descendant of kings. I'm a descendant of slaves. That's what he said. So What am I supposed to do? That's on him. You know what I'm saying? That's on him. I can't support somebody that tears down other black people. It ain't my job to support somebody that tears down black people. Right? Why would I do that? Yeah, pretty much, Bert. Pretty much. You see, it's a minute before the next fight. It's gonna be a minute, dog. We gonna rock. Dog, y'all keep getting put back in the motherfucking closet. Dude, if Pulev beats AJ, you UK dudes, well, you know what'll happen though? They'll try to change it. They'll jump. They probably hope that. A lot of these guys probably hope that AJ does lose. But the funny thing is, if Tyson Fury gets knocked out, because I know y'all acting like that shit can't happen. But I've seen Deontay Wilder put that dude on his back. And I do believe Tyson Fury cheated with them gloves. And he cheated with the gloves in the fight that he got put on his back. All that shit is, dude, Deontay Wilder himself is going to walk into his locker room and put his hand in Tyson Fury's glove. Like, that should be the new thing, too. When you guys check people's gloves, put your hand in the glove. Alexander Povetkin gave us two presents. One was the knockout against Dillian White, and the other one was the audacity to take Dillian White's glove and put it on his trainer's hand. No, I'm not using this. No. No, or no fight. And Deontay Wilder should do that. Not that glove, motherfucker, or no fight. I'll pay the money. Because that's what Tyson Fury does. See, quiet as kept. People need to keep an eye on Tyson Fury because I've noticed something. Tyson Fury is probably a really good poker player. He probably is a really good poker player because he bluffs a lot. He bluffs a lot. Bluffs. I listened to how he told Vladimir Klitschko that if he wasn't able to fight in the gloves that were comfortable for him, there was going to be no fight. Tyson Fury told that to Vladimir Klitschko. Now, this is the interesting thing. This is why I find it interesting. Because there's only one A side to that fight. It's Vladimir Klitschko. So for Tyson Fury to insist on gloves before he pulled out the fight is a bluff. That's a bluff. It's a bluff. Oh, yeah. Southern T, he's been cheating. Been cheating. Matter of fact, what's his name? Not Christian Hamer. A guy that he fought originally. You should go to, dude. There's an art on IFL TV. It's something you're never, it's kind of, they have so many videos that you're not going to see it. But what's the guy's name that a lot of people thought Tyson Fury lost to? Let me look at his record real quick because I can't remember the guy's name. Somebody will get it before I do, but McDermott. All right, I remembered it. McDermott. Yeah, there you go, Retro. McDermott. This is what McDermott said about Tyson Fury in the rematch. And he cheated with his gloves in the rematch with McDermott. And this is what happened. McDermott came in with was supposed to fight, right? And he noticed the gloves of Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury was fighting with like Reyes gloves or something like that, but there was no padding in it. And he said, I'm not fighting with those gloves. McDermott said, I'm not fighting with that. He's got gloves that are designed to give brain damage, and I have gloves that are designed to prevent brain damage. So he's like, he had these big ass gloves. He's like, I got these big ass plated gloves. I'm not, and Tyson Fury's got these little thin ass Reyes gloves on. I'm not fighting that, right? I'm not fighting like that. He can't fight with Reyes. That was the first thing that happened. This is according to McDermott. Next, after McDermott said he wasn't fighting, Tyson Fury's team told McDermott's team it's in the contract. Tyson Fury gets to wear these gloves. If you don't fight, we're going to sue you, and you're going to be responsible for our loss for not taking this fight. So McDermott he wasn't in a position to tell Tyson Fury no. So he said, okay, this is what McDermott says. He says, okay, I'll fight in the same gloves that Tyson Fury fights in. So if he's fighting in Reyes gloves with no padding in it, and I'm fighting with Reyes gloves with no padding in it, at least it's fair, right? So give me the same gloves he's wearing and we can fight. No worries. Guess what happens next? Tyson Fury says, no, McDermott, you cannot wear those Reyes gloves like I'm wearing. You have to wear the ones with all the extra padding in it. Because not only did you agree that I can wear Reyes, in the contract, you agreed that you would wear those gloves. So if you don't fight in those gloves, we're suing you. And this is Tyson Fury against McDermott before the Vladimir Klitschko fight, specifying that his competitor cannot wear the same gloves he is. Because it wasn't enough that he got to wear his gloves. He also didn't want the other guy to be able to wear gloves that could hurt him. Tyson Fury's a fucking cheat. He's a cheat. And the more that it came, and it really hit, once he hit the big leagues, that's when everything started coming out, man. Because you can be dirty when ain't nobody watching. Because don't nobody see. You know what I mean? It's like a kid, as long as you're playing like on the honor system, because boxing by and large has an honor system to it, right? Like the judge is going to warn you not to have a low blow. He's not going to take a point as soon as you do it. It's an honor system. He says, if I warn you enough times, you're going to stop. But if you fail to honor my warnings, eventually I have to punch you. But for a while, it's on an honor system, right? But so a lot of times when you have, like, tennis is a really good example of that, because you have to call your own lines at a certain level of tennis until you get to where they start putting line judges there. Dog, you would be surprised how some motherfucking tennis players start losing terribly when they get a line judge there. Because number one, they can't call the other person's shot out, which they do all the damn time. If it hits the line, it's out. But with a line judge there, nope, sorry, overruled in, right? On game points, if somebody hits a terrific shot to win the match, they're going to have, against certain people, they're going to have to win the match 5-6 times. Because if it's anywhere near the line, they're going to call it out. And they're going to take the point, right? But once you get the judges and everybody watching you, you can't do that shit anymore. It's 100% skill. It's not 100% skill, but it's largely skill. That's what Tyson Fury's going through now. Tyson Fury got away with that shit, dude. He got away with it. People saw him cheating against Steve Cunningham. Dude, if you go back and look at how he knocked out Steve Cunningham, Tyson Fury should have been disqualified from the fight. That shouldn't be a win. That should be a disqualification. He pinned the man's head down with his forearm. He got knocked down, got up, and cheated. Put his hand over the guy's head, right? Pinned the smaller man's head with his forearm, damn near to the rope. And as he left and put it there, boom. The same way he was doing Deontay Wilder when he was choking Deontay Wilder and hitting him while he's choking him. He blinded Steve Cunningham and hit him. It's on NBC. But his time is coming, dog, because once people catch you cheating, unless you're with the WBC and the WBC just doesn't care. He said for years and years and years. Dog, this dude has been cheating for years, man. Because he can't punch. And their thing is, no, the glove is not the glove. It's not the gloves. He got hit by a 90 million stone man. He got hit with a 90 million stone man the last fight. He took flush shots on the chin from Tyson Fury the last fight. He didn't react like that. He took flush hooks from Luis Ortiz. He didn't react like that. Tyson Fury hit Tom Schwartz flush. Tom Schwartz never reacted like that. But all of a sudden, it's his power. Despite the fact that you can see this, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. Despite the fact that you can see this. That's a figment of our imagination. That is Photoshop. That is us lying. Does this glove right here and this shit, does that shit look like that? Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Every time I see that, I just stop. I'm like, wow. I haven't looked at it in a week, but now I'm like, wow. Just take a second and look at that. Just take a second. Just take a look at a second. That glove don't look good to you, dog. What glove, Terry Schmoot, what glove looks good to you? This glove? The right glove looks good to you? I'm sorry. What? Hey, where did Terry Schmoot go? It's unfortunate you had to leave the motherfucking chat, dog. I think it's the wrong dude. I figured it was somebody else. I hate that, though. I thought it was the wrong Terry Schmoot. No, that's Terry Schmoot. Terry Schmoot got blasted. I'll unhide him. I thought it was a fake Terry Schmoot looking on the other channel. Oh, Terry Schmoot, how'd you get to use your thing? I thought it wasn't you. I knew it was you. If it was you, I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. That looks good to you? Sorry, hey, I fixed everything, Terry. My bad. No, and I'm telling you, I can't see. Like, I can't see moderators on the screen that I have. If I would have seen that was him, I thought somebody else came in and stole his name. But you back. Yeah, Terry. My bad. That is sad. The decision should be reversed. Deontay Wilder should have his title back and Tyson should be suspended. Pretty much. Pretty much. And they still got people running around here lying and saying the shit's Photoshop. Like somebody has to Photoshop that. You know? But I'm enjoying every second of it. I am. Tyson Fury is a very immoral, cheating, fraudulent individual. He wasn't going to lose. He didn't want to have what happened to Dillian White happen to him. What happened to Dillian White almost happened to him. In truth, if that was the same referee, it would have happened to him. If he did not have if it was not Jack Reese, it would have happened to him. It would have happened. Most people would have waved that shit off. Should have waved it off. But Jack Reese wouldn't wave it off for Tyson Fury. Yeah, Retro said it's Photoshopped. Ain't nothing wrong with that glove. Man, I wish that shit was Photoshopped so I could go find whoever Photoshopped that shit and get trained. Fannon, that was Jack Reese for Dillian and Fury. Jack Reese was not the trainer, wasn't the ref yesterday. Jack Reese didn't call that fight. That shit was in the UK. Nigga, somebody need to train me to Photoshop that shit. Like somebody's like, that's Photoshop. Dog, I need to know. You know what I should do? I should do a video with a Photoshop expert and be like, hey man, what would it take to change this photo into this photo? And just like take his glove and see how you could go about doing it. Because do you know what I know about Photoshop? Because I do work with it. They would have to find, I'm pretty sure, in order to Photoshop this, pretty sure. Ugh. All right, to Photoshop this, I'm pretty sure that you would have to find something that had this in it. So, for example, if I was going to Photoshop this, I would cut this. I would cut this glove here, right? I would take the top off of this glove, or say that this glove was green. I would take this glove, right? Cut it, rotate it, and put it right here. That's how you Photoshop. In order to Photoshop this, you would have to find this somewhere. I don't know if this goes into Photoshop or if this goes more into special effects. Because, like, I got a friend that is he works for Hallmark, and he uses Photoshop extensively. And he showed me how he could put a glove on somebody's hand, how he could move it. But the way he did it was, he said, what I do is I will take this swatch right here, I will move it, transform it, and do a bunch of different things and put it here and try to have the two blend. But this right here, to get this to appear, where could you find this in order to superimpose it on this glove? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even from a Photoshopping standpoint, where do you find this particular image to Photoshop and place on top of this glove? I don't know how you would do it. And I know, and I've taken Photoshop tutorials. They could move this glove and make it flat, or they could take, if say this glove, you wanted to make the right glove look like the left glove, you could take the right glove, this portion of the right glove, and superimpose it to this. But what are you going to superimpose? Where are you going to get this? Where are you going to get this hand from? Where are you going to get this image from to put it on top? No, dude, that shit is not Photoshopped. You even see the reflection of the dude's glove in the silver, in the gold of this glove. The university bends towards justice KO, Fury getting KO'd. Yeah. He already got KO'd. You said she could not Photoshop that. I don't see how you could. Like, I need to find somebody, and I got a good friend of my name say use an old isotoner pick. Yeah, you got to take a pick of an isotoner glove and perfectly form fit that shit onto this with nothing. Come on, man. Come on. But we all know he did. Taysarks, you can convert it into a negative image and reveal the evidence of PHS, because once you zoom, you'll see rough edges and distortion. Oh, you can convert it to a negative image and reveal the evidence of Photoshop because you can zoom in and see the rough edges and distortion. Thanks, Tay Sharks. I'm gonna learn how to do that, dude. So you do that in Photoshop, so you should be able to see the distortions. I'm gonna look at it. That shit ain't Photoshopped. But I know it's not Photoshop because I know where I got it from. So, but thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Blood, by the way, not everybody can do you, man. For everybody out there, because we coming up close to the show. Look, man. Yeah, people trying to imitate blood boxing, dog, please don't do it. It's really hard to pull off, man. Because blood will clown and will go off and do shit like that. But in order to do that, you have to have the base of boxing understanding and knowledge that Blood has. Blood can veer into tripping because he can always go back to the bedrock, which is a encyclopedic knowledge of boxing. If you do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of boxing, do not try to impersonate blood boxing because the shit is not going to work. That shit is not going to work. Just had to give you your respect, dog. You got some imitators out here, Blood. Jupiter B said, how can you Photoshop a picture and reload it to the photographer website? Oh, that would be called a not gonna happen. That's called not gonna happen. You have to hire an ethical somebody. He said, Blood said, thanks, big bro. I've always been a clown, but I love the sport. Yeah, Doug, but you're the real thing, dude. Cats be trying to impersonate you. That shit don't work. That shit don't work. Will never work. Tay Shark said impossible. No, that's what they think you. That's what they saying you had to done. You had to Photoshop this, and then first of all, you had to take it off his website, Photoshop it, put it back up there. So you only have. Not only do you have to Photoshop, you have to break the law. You also have to break federal law. You also got to bake. You have to. I'm sure because he lives in Vegas. You live somewhere else, dog. If you break into his shit, change some picture and get out, that's interstate. It's not interstate commerce, but that's interstate. That's federal. That's violation of a federal law. So you not only have to be an expert Photoshopper and a world and a not a world class, but a sophisticated hacker, and be willing to violate federal law to make Tyson Fury look bad. Sure. You say you need the government or a badass hacker for that. And by the way, hacking ain't as easy as you think it is. So hacking is not just about, the guy's just going to have a bunch of passwords and press a button and go till your password shows up, dog. That's not all hacking is, dude. A lot of the best hackers in the world will break in and steal. These motherfuckers are stealing your garbage. Like, you're going to have somebody that is willing to send somebody to get this guy's password. You got to be willing to have guys do all kind of shit to hack his system. And it's not even his system. It's hosted by somebody. And only that picture. Jake Lee said, you have distinctive shadowing too, Fannon. Fakes are easy to cite. And there is no crazy shadowing. The shadowing on this shit is so well done. Like, see how right there in between Tyson Fury's glove and Deontay Wilder's arm, there's that little perfect shadow and the reflection in the gold glove. It's just, man, come on, man. Anyway. Fannon, you would have to be in movie special effects to Photoshop that glove called Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah, dog. So just stop. Tyson Fury cheated. Okay. However, many people don't think that it's important enough to talk about. Like my great friend Blood Boxing. Now I know Blood Boxing knows that dude cheated, but he don't care. But it's just, he's like, man, whatever. It's not enough. It's just what it is. People cheat all the time, right? People cheat all the time. And that's true. Isolated cheating does occur. And it's part of it. You're going to have to deal with it, right? But this stuff in the UK, dog, you getting a pile of shit up, man. You got a guy in Dillian White. Dillian White said that Anthony Joshua got therapeutic use exemptions for synthetic testosterone. Cheater. According to Dillian White, Tyson Fury is a cheater. Anthony Joshua's a cheater. According to two guys that have both popped dirty multiple times, Jarrell Big Baby Miller and Dillian White, Anthony Joshua gets therapeutic use exemptions. He said, yes, sir, you're right. It better not best to not happen again. Yeah, that's what it is. That's how a lot of people take it. So I was like, and I was always cool with your standpoint on that, Blood. I knew what it was. It's kind of like my son coming in telling somebody's cheating. I'm like, dog, what do you mean he cheated? Yeah, he won the fight because he snuck me. Snuck me and hit me in the back. Hey, dude, what you turn your back on him for? You need to see motherfuckers coming at you from a long way, son. You know what I mean? But it's Getty Images, one of the most respectable photography countries in the world. No one is hacking them and photoshopping their pics. No, ain't nobody do that shit. That's Tyson Fury cheating. And that's why between Tyson Fury and Dillian White is why Alexander Povetkin grabbed Dillian White's gloves and his manager and team put the gloves on their hand and was like, just make sure, and you make sure that these are the gloves that he shows up with tomorrow. That's what they said. Let me see your gloves. I'm not looking at them. I want to see them. And I want to put my hands in them. I'm not squeezing. I'm putting my hands in them. Okay, these work. And make sure Dillian shows up with that pair of gloves tomorrow. If he shows up with a different pair of gloves than those gloves, we're not fighting. Now, what kind of cheating ass place does somebody like a cheater like Alexander Povetkin, who got popped 2 times with performance-enhancing drugs, is so insistent on seeing the motherfucking gloves that he puts them on their hand to make sure that the padding can't move? Deontay Wilder, next fight with Tyson Fury, the gloves are on my hand, please. Give me his gloves, and I'm putting them on my hands. No. Well, I won't fight, but I won't fight. And that's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury will come with the bluff. I won't fight then. I won't fight. That's a sucky. I'm not going to fight then. I'm not going to fight. If I can't fight with my gloves, the fight's off. Well, Deontay says, great. Fight's off. Now I'm going to sue your ass. And put in the contract, I get to see your gloves and put them in my hands. And you will have no less than a 1/4 inch of padding between your fucking knuckles and the outside of the glove at all times. We'll put it in the contract. You will have no less than 3/4 inch of padding on your knuckles at all times. If we get a Photoshop and it don't look like that, dog, I'm suing you for this shit. Make sure his shit specifications for the foam over the knuckles. See, that's what cheaters do. People want to wonder why there's so many laws on the books and shit gets so like you need to hire people to tell you what the rules are because of cheaters like Tyson Fury. Because now that Tyson Fury has exposed how you cheat in Las Vegas, because I don't believe that they removed padding from the gloves in the locker room. I don't believe it. I think that they had those gloves made that way. I think they were made that way because they were custom gloves. So Deontay Wilder, the next fight, no custom gloves. No custom gloves. And if you do get custom gloves, I need to see the specs on the gloves. And those gloves, you can have no less than whatever reasonable amount, whatever the measurement is. But I'm sure somebody that designs gloves can come up with a nice measurement for the type of foam, and the amount of it over the knuckles. If you want to fight in Reyes gloves, you need to have whatever amount of centimeters of shit over your knuckles with those gloves. If you're going to fight with Pathans, and it has to be made of this type, do that. You're going to have all those type of rules put in to contracts because you got to catch cheaters. That's what they're going to wind up doing. That's what I would do if I was Deontay Wilder about the gloves. I would put shit in the contract about the gloves and the specifications of the gloves. You're not fighting me with no gloves without padding that stays over the knuckles. And all that misformed glove shit that they were talking about, none of that. Okay? I'm not fighting with any gloves that look like they went through a washing machine. I don't care. Like, I've been watching these Pathan, because now that I'm familiar with Pathan gloves, do you realize that Delphine Pearson fought in Pathan gloves against Katie Taylor? Those gloves didn't look shit like Tyson Fury's gloves. And Tyson Fury only had one flat glove. He only had one glove that looked like that, not two. He had one glove look like that. Why didn't both gloves look like that? If that flat shit is normal like that, because that's what they're saying. Well, it's normal. It's normal. You can see that little flat top. There's a lot of gloves that have that flat top on them. Yeah, but why does only one glove have that flat top? Why not two? And why does it look like it's gone through a washing machine? Why does it look so old? Oh, it's not old. It's new. We just use material that made it behave as if it was old. What do you mean? Oh, well, the reason you don't want old gloves is because they're worn in. So what we did is we designed our gloves to be new, but worn in. Kind of like, people want to have holes and shit in their jeans. right? They want her jeans to look worn, but they're brand new, but they're worn, like they got holes in them already. That's what the path and gloves for Tyson Fury seems like. Like he wanted an old, worn-out glove that would get to the knuckles quickly, and that's what they gave him. And Deontay Wilder should make sure he doesn't get that again. Make him fight in regular, straight-up gloves with your gloves on your hand completely, and no funny business, dude. Tyson Fury's good enough a fighter where he doesn't need all that funny business any fucking way. Or at least he should be. But what happened? He didn't want to get done like Dillian. He didn't want to get done like Dillian. And don't think that AJ wants to fight that Anthony Joshua, what's his name? Eddie Hearn really wants AJ and Tyson Fury. Dillian White, Eddie Hearn wants Matchroom to control the heavyweight belt. Don't be surprised, even if Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua, that fight doesn't happen. He said the guys that made the gloves know what happened. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they know what happened. So that glove was made that way. He said, nah, he ordered it like that. I agree with Fannon. He ordered the fight like that. He ordered those gloves like that. He ordered them. And when he went to Vegas, Vegas checks the weight. They don't check the distribution, right? So, but it's still cheating because the rules of Vegas are not the rules of boxing. That's just their security protocol, right? It passed their security protocol. That does not mean that his boxing gloves are legal because he has his knuckles exposed. It just means that the Nevada State Athletic Commission didn't catch it. And the Nevada State Athletic Commission didn't call the fight off. He ordered a Photoshop glove. It's not smart, dog. It's not funny. It's not smart. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny. It's not intelligent. It didn't add anything to the conversation. The fuck are you here for? That glove ain't photoshopped. But if you want me to tell him he just cheated and fucked with it. I'm not in that business. I'm not in the business of telling you how he went about it. I see the knuckles. I know he went about it. Okay? I know he went about it. How my son got his hands on my credit card in the middle of the night and spent $200 on video games, I do not know. I see it on my bill. I know somebody spent $200 in NBA live games and tokens. I think it was the only dude in his house that plays NBA live. That's my bet. But my son can sit there and look at me in my face and say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do it. Must have been a mistake. I didn't do it. Nah, dog. You did it, and you did it to my satisfaction because my money is gone. Dog, I see the glove. I don't have to go through all the explanation shit. Okay? You motherfuckers trying to make me explain why there's a tree in the middle of my yard. I can't tell you who planted the tree. I can't tell you how long ago the tree was planted. You know, I can't even tell you if it was really somebody that planted it or whether, the neighborhood kind of developed around the tree. But motherfucker, that's a tree in my yard. I know that's a tree. I don't have to explain. I don't have to explain to you how it got there. It was like there's this physicist whose name I can't pronounce. She's a brilliant lady, really funny, quirky, nerdy chick on who's got a YouTube channel, dude. What's going to say, Fannon? You must be the photo. You must of PHS the video with that ref stopping the fight from starting a few years ago because of his glove. You must of what is this? What does PHS mean? Oh, yeah. You must have seen the video of that ref stopped the fight from starting a few years ago because of his glove. Of course. Dude, Tyson Fury cheated, dog. Dude, he's a drug cheat. What's Photoshop? Oh, you must have photoshopped the video of that ref. Oh, yeah, I edited. No, that's After Effects. It was really good shit with me with After Effects that made that, dude. They should have all the cameras on his locker room and don't turn them off. Dude, exactly. Oh, thanks. PHS is photocop for short. Yeah. I'm catching up with it. Thank you, sir. Retro said, Blood Boxing said, I was scared to steal from my father's Retro for Life 79 boxing. That nigga turned it up when it came to me. Oh, dog. I have to leave that range with my son now, though. Man, my son has just got big all the damn sudden. Dog. Yeah, man. Just let him go. That dude there, dog, started, man, this guy right here, I ain't gonna say his name. I know you watching, dude. This dude right here told me, this guy right here, him, told me that he was going to destroy Deontay Wilder. Because he didn't know me at the time. Like, he didn't know me at the time. He don't know me now, but probably didn't know who I was at the time. And I left a message on his video before I knew he was like, you know, what he was on, dude. And the dude told me in the comment section. I was like, what? Because I was like, dude, why are you lying on Deontay Wilder? You know that's not true. Like, that's not true. Deontay Wilder's fought top 10 guys. He's the WBC champion. You can't win the WBC title without, number one, being ranked in the top 10. But number two, you beat the champion. If you beat the champion, you beat the guy that was the number one. You beat the champion. He beat Dominic Breazeale again. He beat Bermane Sivert again when Bermane Sivert was ranked number one. Luis Ortiz was ranked. Everybody Deontay Wilder fought since he became a champion was ranked in the top 10 of the WBC. So I was like, dude, why could you say that? And this is what dude told me, D-Style. Straight up told me. I don't care. He's like, I'm paraphrasing. I don't care about the truth. I'm going to ruin Deontay Wilder. That's what he said. He said he didn't care about the truth, that he was going to ruin Deontay Wilder. And he told me that in his chat. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, well, fuck. Here we go. Here we go. You're not going to sit up. You dudes in the UK just because there are American boxing fans, man. There are avid American boxing fans that want to see their fighters do well and want to support their fighters. You're not just going to come up and rip at somebody like that, dude. Like, you try to humiliate Deontay Wilder for winning. You guys treated I've never seen a fighter treated worse. Never. In my life, I've never seen a fighter treated worse than Deontay Wilder was treated by UK fans. Ever. Because I've never seen, as much as I don't like Canelo Alvarez because of his testing positive for doping, dude, you can't turn around and tear down everything he ever did. Everything the man ever did. These guys didn't give Deontay Wilder credit for anything. What is that, D-Style? Sporting Icons made a video about me when I came back from a year hiatus, making fun that I only had 40 views on my video. I can't see that. Because he couldn't touch the argument point. Yeah, dude can suck a dick. Fuck about you, dude. You're a fucking moron. Like, the dude is just gonna rip it, dude. Anyway, fuck him. No worries, D-Style. Fuck that dude. It's like, dude, this cat was gonna ruin Deontay Wilder. So now that Dillian White ruined himself, somebody's supposed to be nice? Dude, you guys in the UK should be ashamed of if you guys call yourself boxing fans, you should be ashamed of what you did to Deontay Wilder. Ashamed of it. Because I was not a Deontay Wilder fan. That's the thing that gets me, dude. He said, I'm popping now with the views. Of course you are, D-Style. You're regular. D-Style going to pop for that. Dude, if D-Style, if you treated boxing If you treated your YouTube channel like people, like you treated it like a job, like a day, like you're going to do certain amount of shit and you're going to push it out every day and you're going to have fancy titles and catchy titles and do all that shit, dude, please. You guys could have way been over 70, 80,000 subscribers, man. You're just one of those dudes that love boxing. And you came up about boxing. You came to YouTube not seeing YouTube as a business. Just like Blood. Blood came to boxing, came to YouTube boxing and didn't see it as a business. He sees it as a way to talk to boxing fans. I'm a hybrid. I ain't gonna lie. I want my channel to grow. I want to make a profitable channel. I want to do that. And if you don't do some of that, your voice gets just completely muffled. A bunch of people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I would say, if D-Style or Blood Boxing wanted to have channels and do the things that other people are doing to grow their channels would grow. Nobody ain't funnier than D-Style. They ain't smarter than D-Style. They don't pay more attention to D-Style. And D-Style got a niche. D-Style's bilingual. So you motherfuckers ain't touching D-Style. D-Style really wants to get on with it. Please. That's just a matter of him saying, I want to have 80,000 subscribers and I want to make a bunch of money. That's all. Because if he did it, it's like a 5-step program. Through the fucking roof. But, the bad thing about it is, like with guys like that don't know jack shit, like I know boxing, right? But I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not as good as Blood Boxing. Like, I don't know as much as Blood Boxing does. Just straight truth, right? I think my channel is valuable, but I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say, yeah, I'm the greatest boxing historian and I have the best live streams and I am the best and there's no channel that can touch me and I can fuck all that shit, man. All that shit does is irritate me. You know what I'm saying? Because there are channels with guys that don't have many subscribers that are better than me. And I know it. You know what I mean? I know it. Mr. Boxing Today. Mr. Boxing Today does it because he loves the sport of boxing. But there is a group of people that are doing it for the business. But don't get it twisted. The guys that love the sport really do know the fucking sport. And there are things that there's conversations that you can have with D-Style Boxing where D-Style Boxing can tell you with great detail what has happened in boxing over the next 10 years. You got guys with channels that got 20,000 subscribers can't tell you that shit. Because they put up a video with tape of somebody fighting. So you get a lot of subscribers. Like if D-Style wanted to grow his subscriber base, not tough, dude. Every 3 videos you do, take some shit off of Twitter and put it on your channel and say Gervonta Davis goes and snaps, right? But don't say anything. Just take what he puts on Twitter and put it on your page. You're going to get a lot of views because people want to see that video. But that doesn't mean that they want to hear you and what you have to say. But that will get your subscribers up, right? Do 2-minute videos and boom, your shit, all of a sudden you'll see a bunch of subscribers and shit popping off. You'll get a bunch of fucking views. But you're not going to make any difference in the sport of boxing doing that shit because you're not getting anybody anything to think about. That's my take on it, though. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. I've seen anti-LDBC guys have a niche too. Yeah, they got a niche. They eat off us. Absolutely, they do. Paul Carrick said, I think you're great, Bison. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you, man. Much love in that super chat. No, I mean, my channel is straight. But the best thing about my channel is consistency. I'm consistent. I do it every day. And I love boxing. I love boxing. Love it. Tried to sit down and watch an NBA game. Couldn't even do the shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, I'm just so far gone from that, dude. I was like, I'm the fuck up out of here, dog. Anyway, man, but let me get up out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Make sure you go to KQKC Boxing coming up later. D-Style, put your stuff in the chat, man. Go subscribe to D-Style Boxing and my man Blood Boxing. And with that, we out. Pete. Oh, Jupiter B said that's why it's not worth arguing. Trolls, they are all knowingly lying to bring Wilder down. A troll told BFTB they will continue to spread lies once. Of course, they're back. Yeah, they're just liars, dude. They just lie. They have no. Excuse me, I'm sweating under these lights. Yeah, they lie. They're just gonna lie on them, and they'll tell you that they're lying on them. You know, they're lying. They'll tell you that they're lying on them. If you have something that's serious, they'll just make some shit up. I saw people Photoshop. Somebody sent me Photoshop pictures. I'm like, dude, this is Photoshop. Well, how do you know it's Photoshop? Because the top of the glove is a light green, like neon green, and the other one is dark green. It's like 4 shades of color between the tip and the back of the glove, dude, and it in a straight line between the two of them. I'm like, dude, why are you saying, oh, D-Style? Oh, yes, what's up? Ashy Knuckles, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Ashy Knuckles is the man, dog. But anyway, let me get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Subscribe to D-Style Boxing. Make sure you go to the D-Style Boxing tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for him and the legendary Ashy Knuckles. And with that, we out. Peace.